As long as I restrict my eating to 8 hours or less, can I eat whatever I want during that 8 hours?
Anything you want.
Pizza, burgers, ice cream. We're going to discuss that in this video, whether what we have to eat or calories are going to matter when intermittent fasting.
So there's two things to consider here, right? Calories and your metabolism. And when we first started looking into intermittent fasting or time-restricted feeding, which is what the research will refer to it more accurately, was studies by Dr. Sachin Panda's group with Salk Institute, and one in particular he had done on mice early on was an isocaloric research. So meaning that they had a control group and they had a test group. They were both fed the same amount of calories. The only difference was that the test group had to consume those calories in a shortened eating window. And long story short, the result was basically showing that calories didn't matter. As long as those mice restricted their eating window to a shorter period, they were protected against weight gain.
Right. Now, they did have the other group that ate ad libitum,
Yep.
the same amount of calories throughout the day,
Right.
and those mice tended to have more issues.
Right. So it's really, great. This is the whole point, right? So we shorten our eating window. You can eat whatever you want. Well,
That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome. However, the challenge with that is that is not what we should take from this research. What was happening in this research is that they were restricting the amount of calories that both groups were having. So they weren't going to a fast food restaurant and getting a burger, fries, and a milkshake for lunch, and then doing that again at dinner time and thinking that they were going to be losing weight.
Yeah, it'd be great if that would work, but that is not reality.
Right. And it's especially not reality if we segue into our second point, which is your metabolism is not what it used to be.
Right. So when they had these two groups. They did the ad libitum group. The mice could eat all their calories during any part of that day, and then they restricted the other group that they could only get all those calories during this part of the group. So they took that time restricted group, and then they looked at the differences between the normal chow, which was about 16% fat, and the high fat chow, which was around 61% chow. And they found that those two groups in the time restricted feeding, even though the normal chow mice lost a little bit of weight, the high fat diet mice really lost weight.
Right.
And they improved a lot of metabolic markers.
Right. Yeah, so they showed improvement greatly in their liver enzymes, and risk of diabetes. There were many health values also. So takeaway number 2 is that the nutrients do matter, not only to accelerate the fat loss, which is one of the findings they had, but also to improve your health. And when we would throw in there that a lot of people that watch us are dealing with insulin resistance,
right.
Which basically means that your body cells are not utilizing insulin as well as they should be, and moving these high carb, sugary type foods out of your blood efficiently, which can block fat loss.
Right. It just makes you a better fat storing machine, which
Right.
A lot of us understand that.
Right, and which is another reason why you have to change your macros. You have to watch your macros. And I think probably an interesting part of this was that the high-fat food was 61%.
Right.
And a lot of people that watch us are more interested in the keto range, which that would be considered more of a low-carb probably range.
Your 60%, would be kind of that low carb range, because then you're going to get 40% of your calories, the other 40 from carbs and protein.
So the takeaway there is that mice, like people, can lose on a low carb diet. Not everyone needs to go into that range. It really will depend on how much, what I always call metabolic debt, that you've carried carried in, how poor your diet was before. But start with a low carb diet if you're just getting started on this journey, and then move into a keto diet to really accelerate that results. If you're looking for a place to start, we've got a low carb and a keto challenge, so you can pick which direction that you want to go, and we'll leave some links here.
21 days, that's all they are,
Yeah.
and you get the meal plans and recipes, and I think that they are a good value and they do work.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yep.
All right. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Hopefully that helps you guys on your journey. And please subscribe, hit the bell button so that you're alerted when we have another video come out, and we'll see you next week. Maddie, are you ready to go?
Are you on?
You ready?